Hi, this is Doug Standard with Fearless Presentations. In this session, we're going to cover a little bit about how the real power in stories and how stories and examples, when you put those into your presentations, it can really make you a very powerful kind of speaker. Let me kind of start off just by kind of giving you a couple of examples about why this is so important. I was reading in a magazine probably, I bet it was around 2000, 2001, and there was an article called Leadership Through Storytelling. And basically what this author did was he identified 5 different things that stories would do to help make you a better leader, basically. And it got to where the more that I started to kind of understand what this guy was talking about in the article, the more it started to apply in public speaking as well. So it's not just leadership. When you want to give a good presentation, stories are very, very powerful, can make you a good leader in front of the room as well. So basically what this guy said was, he said that stories are going to do 5 things for you. He said the number one thing that a story will do for you is it helps you capture and hold people's attention. When I was, I don't know, maybe 6, 7 years old, I would kind of come in from school at 3:30, and we'd turn on this in the wintertime. My brother and I would turn on Tom and Jerry, and then we'd watch all of Tom and Jerry, and then the very next program would be like Gilligan's Island, and then probably whatever was next after that. But we had the TV for like 2 captive hours, and then my dad would come in, right? He came home about 5 o'clock, we'd usually eat dinner right around 5:30 or so. But at 5:30, that was when the TV changed, because, back then we don't have one TV in the house, right? And he turned it to Walter Cronkite, right? Walter Cronkite was the, at the time anyway, the best newsreader on the planet. One of the things that Walter Cronkite did back then was he really got into his stories. He would tell these elaborate kind of details within the stories. And the reason why he could do that back then is because the average attention span of people back in the 70s, 80s, 90s was somewhere around 2 minutes or so, right? Now we process things a lot faster with the internet, with even if you want to use the same example, like news, headline news and Fox News, those kind of programs, if you watch their on-the-hour news broadcasts, typically they're going to cover 3 or 4 different stories in that 2-minute or so sound system or sound bite. And basically in each one of those stories, they're going to have 3 entities kind of talking. They'll have a person behind the desk, an anchor, that will give you 8 to 10 seconds of content. Then they'll go out into the field and get you another 8 to 10 seconds, and then usually there's like an 8 to 10 second sound bite. So in that 30-second story that you're receiving, you're getting 3 different people kind of talking. So that's kind of what's happened to the average attention span of people. In fact, the studies today will kind of tell you that the average attention span of people is about 8 to 10 seconds or so. In a business presentation, if you're doing PowerPoint, that kind of thing, typically the average attention span is about the number of times, or however long it takes you to kind of use your clicker, maybe 3 times. And that's kind of when we lose people's attention, for the most part anyway. So basically, in order to combat that, an easy way to do it is by telling stories, because stories are a really powerful way to capture and hold people's attention. And the neat thing about telling a good story is that the audience will tend to pay attention to you for about the 2-minute time frame that we had back in the Walter Cronkite days. So tell lots of stories and give great details in your stories, and if you do, you're going to capture and hold people's attention.